The last video today I'm going to dedicate to the salt water issue, the salt water drinking. Adriatic Sea, Mediterranean, Croatia. I was asking Italy, after they already got them doing that stuff, if I should trust them. If we should trust them, just as if I investigated before pulling me under the water to drink Adriatic Sea water, he would ask me about us, we trust. I didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. And soon I was again reminded of salt water. This is the stuff you're gonna have to read this post here. I already have written about this stuff. I'm gonna go and repeat myself, and I'm repeating myself right here. Oh no, that's another one. This will be about seawater, drinking seawater. As you know, it's salty. This stuff here, yeah, you're gonna have to read this stuff to. I am just referring to this page, but right now is more important issue. I want to clarify all this stuff. I want to make sense by giving you literally a state border proofs about this shit here. Okay, I'm sure you heard about a country known as Montenegro. That's a tiny little country on the Balkans. Montenegro is the country in the name of the country. So this poisoning, salt poisoning with the salty water, this shit went on foremost in Croatia during what used to be Yugoslavia. I was along the Croatian seashore, Yugoslavia. There you can see a map. Right there you can see the map with Adriatic Sea. And based on this map, it's not difficult to see that the border, the border of the borders on the Adriatic Sea. Mainly it's Croatian coastline. It's a beautiful Croatian coastline. And then on the south you also have Montenegro. Yeah, Slovenia also have, I think, a few kilometers, 20 kilometers or something like that. The coastline, 25, whatever it might be, 20. But the Montenegro is another portion of this beautiful Adriatic coastline before Albania meets the Montenegro coastline down on the south, just the way you see it right there, right? And then across the sea, across the Adriatic Sea, this is a Mediterranean. You have also Italy. Okay, so this corruption, I couldn't describe better this than what I did right here in this blog. This is this was a really sad state, and it also goes to show the state of mind of Josip Broz Tito, really, who Josip Broz Tito was. You're gonna have to probably return and read this unless you came across my blog already, whatever. It's gonna be included in this video. It's well worthy. This video is well worthy. Well, the thing is, there was a time when Slobodan Milošević, as you heard, is the guy who was summoned to The Hague. Slobodan Milošević, this guy here, was involved since my earliest childhood. Actually, his brother, who ended up inside of Russia, inside of Moscow, was the one who was involved way more than he did. And then also he became involved in, once it became evident that he's gonna eventually has a chances to become a Slovenian, I should say a Yugoslav president, Yugoslav Federation president. And so this was the guy who would actively take me on vacation. This was a psychopath. Whenever he was inside our house, it was a very nice man in front of my mom and my father. But it became evident that this was a top KGB lunatic psychopath who couldn't live anymore without actively causing me harm. What exactly that meant? Well, at my age 11, I had my mom and father, they were forced to pack my belongings and get me ready for the trip to the Adriatic coast with MILOŠEVIĆ and his kids, his family. And, when I say his kids, his daughter, but kids from other Serbian families. You would say, that's actually nice, that's fucking nice. Yeah. It was not nice. It was actually so bad that Montenegro proclaimed its independence. And Montenegro are very related to the Serbs, I would say. I think it's something stupid they do. I think it would be way smarter for the Montenegro to relate itself instead to Croatia. But since they like it like that, that's up to them. Montenegrins, once they observed me with the MILOŠEVIĆ, what MILOŠEVIĆ was doing with me, the Montenegro only had one thing on their mind, and that's basically their independent Montenegrin state. And what exactly the hell went on with MILOŠEVIќ, not only in Montenegro but also Croatia? I am just going to take you to the random location here. I was so many times in Montenegro that I could not even count. All the time, Serbia all the time was Montenegro. Everything that you see, every village here, I was tortured through Slobodan Milošević, through the Serbs that would deliver me everywhere. He was giving me in and out where in Montenegro. I do think that he lives in Montenegro, Milošević. I don't think that he died in Hague. I spent so much time with the Milošević in Montenegro. He totally demonstrated me entire Montenegro. Milošević did. Something that if I dedicate my time, I might actually even pinpoint where Milošević is hiding today. I don't think he's dead. I don't believe. I refuse to believe that he's dead. Let's see this here. Let's see the beach here, the coastline beach here, let's say. Favorite place of Milošević, this is Montenegro. It always was the beaches on Montenegro. This is the Montenegro is, yeah, that was it for the Milošević. To the Montenegrins that they watch this program, this is not what I would allow, this kind of stuff, the sheep that you see, because it's Zaliv. Zaliv, it's not a channel. It's surrounded by the mountains. It will screw the nature completely. This, you destroy ecosystem if you do this stuff. This kind of stuff, no. Out on open waters, port, I already told them because I was delivered back to Montenegro for torture, for more torture. Serbs completely own Montenegro. And That's what that is. Anyhow, I told them about this stuff already, about this ship, exactly the size. I know every meter of Montenegro, all right? I never was there, but during MK Ultra, everywhere. MILOŠEVIĆ, it was not a beach like the one you see here. This is not exactly the proper beach. You see that where these kids are playing right here, the way the kids are playing here, the beach like this that you see like this, the sandy beach like this, but this wide and open, long beach like this, with these kids from Belgrade, his relatives and so on in the water, and surrounded with these kids back and forth. And the only thing they would do is, MILOŠEVIĆ told me, well, I'm going to explain to you what mental illness is. He started to bother me with this issue of mental illness already since I was a child. And I said, there's no such thing like I said, I don't even understand. I said, you will understand, you will understand, You will understand. I will explain to you, all about the mental illness, what mental illness is and stuff like this, And so this was a much bigger beach, and just trying to get myself here. Basically at the wrong location I am. Okay, so that will be more like out on open. Shit, man, the stuff that I'm doing is identical to interrogation. Police interrogation in our house, which even there we go, like this, tick 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 tick. Vojno odmaralište. We're gonna go here, we're gonna take this here, I'll see if I can get some, oh shit, Oasis Apartments MILOŠEVIĆ, there you go. We're gonna go here where the Oasis Apartments of the MILOŠEVIĆ are. Let's go here, I like this, right here, MILOŠEVIĆ. So what you're gonna do is, I don't see here that I could show you, let me see if I can demonstrate the beach. I would like to show you, I was in apartment in MILOŠEVIĆ. They had me in all these apartments here, everywhere. Not in all of them, but hostels and stuff like this, and possibly beyond that. Let's see if I can get some. Let me see if I can get some of that. If I can get some view on the beach here. We can get some. Shit, that I don't get any kind of. Alright, maybe I get this one here too. Oh, there we go. Let's see it. Hey, man, this is a very private stuff. I remember this stuff. Let's go to the Vojno odmaralište. That was very popular. This is where MILOŠEVIĆ is, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Slobodan Milošević, right here. Where it says, see Oasis Apartment MILOŠEVIĆ. I know so because this is where MILOŠEVIć always was coming. He liked Vojno odmaralište, and right in front of it is where he decided he's going to base himself. So if you're looking for Slobodan Milošević, then this would be the area you would look for. Absolutely. Let's see some of that stuff. He probably calls me right now, gay, faggot, kurva, this and that. Well, hello to you. Who the hell knows? Maybe the two of us meet again. If we do, you're not gonna be lucky this time. Very beautiful areas here, but this is more like you're not even supposed to be beach. It used not even to be accessible for the people. This area here, Really, seriously, this was like something else. This is the nature here is the part is incredible. I don't get basically the stuff I need for the video. I don't get. This is perfect. There you go. MILOŠEVIĆ. This. Boom. Let's go. Hopefully it's gonna throw me into the street option. All right. Something like this. Like this. Then you would be inside of the water, surrounded with the kids like this, playing. Maybe the hell happened right here. Who the hell knows? This didn't happen one time only. It happened many times. And MILOŠEVIĆ stayed out to demonstrate you what mental illness is. And I didn't take one seriously. Fuck him. They tortured me through entire Montenegro. That's what he was doing. I wasn't playing in the water with the kids. But they got me in the water with the Serbian kids. And I didn't want to have anything to do with it because it always was like this. And he said to me, well, ajde igraj se sa njime. They dragged me into the water. I didn't want to have nothing to do with any of it. Really, I didn't want to be there. So I got into the water, I got wet. I got these kids, all right, the kids started to play and this and that. Usually he would use kids to jump on me. I was jucked up, pull me under the water, attack me and stuff like this. That time it was different. I all of a sudden became surrounded with the kids. It was a lot of people all around. And they were playing. These young kids, these young Serbian kids, they seems like they wanted to play and were playing with one another and so on. And were looking at me weird, strange if I don't want to play with them. And I don't wanted to play with them too. They had some girls over there and stuff in the water. And before you know, in this swimming, surrounded with these kids, before you know I had a kid that would pull me under the water. And yeah, I drink the water and stuff like this and got myself up again and I ignored it, in this shit, this attacks with the Montenegrins watching this stuff. Went on for about 10 to 15 times. They might have even video recorded this stuff, who knows? And I did not react to that stuff with this Serbian. It was Serbian kids. With a lot of kids, everybody was laughing and attacking me from all directions. Then what happened was, I had enough of this stuff. I was asking them to stop this, to not do that. I knew exactly about what went on. I just wanted to be politically correct about it. Because I knew exactly about what went on. It was about Serbian-Slovenian, which MILOŠEVIĆ accented. And that's what he hoped he would market in Montenegro at that time. He had the politicians together, he gathered politicians and so on. He probably repeated this crime for about 10 to 15 times like this before I eventually grabbed one of the kids and I retaliated. And it was totally impossible to retaliate because of bigger kids inside. Nothing I could do. And they continued to attack me till I started to really defend myself. You defend your life. And I started to refer to them as the Serbs. In fact, I started to curse them as the fucking Serbs and so on. That's when first MILOŠEVIĆ did is he told me, first, he came in the water, he was explaining me this stuff. That's a mental illness, he said. That's a mental illness when I started to defend myself. When I started to defend myself, he said, that's a mental illness. Ti si bolan čoveče. Right out on open like this on a sea. You're sick, you're mentally ill. He was having fun over there with his people, sitting on the chairs and stuff like that. And the kids tortured. inside of the water. Hey, you're mentally ill and so on. You're mentally ill. The first thing what they would do is they would deliver me from the water and they would report in front of me what I did. That I started to defend myself and stuff like this. Then he'd give them more assignment to do more and more and more. This shit would go for hours. Once I started to call them fucking Serbs and defended myself for life to save my life. That's when she said, you see, that's a mental illness. That's absolutely a mental illness. So, what he was doing was totally justified. Basically a drowning in Adriatic Sea with goal of poisoning through the salt water. That's totally legitimate, and totally normal, a torture which went on each occasion for hours and hours. It was not a play. It was drowning, terror, attacks. As you're drugged up, you're sensory deprived. And you have all kinds of kids coming in your face, pushing this, that. This is what went on during vacations with MILOŠEVIĆ. This is the stuff that went on. Do you like it? Do you like it? And this is the shit that went on. This is what MILOŠEVIĆ, Slobodan Milošević was doing. I owe MILOŠEVIќ a lot. I owe MILOŠEVIќ a lot. I owe MILOŠEVIќ so much that once this case ends, the Serbs are going to have a lot to explain. Because I will be all over the fucking Serbia. I will be looking for you, but you're not going to like it. When they brought you to Hague, they brought you to Hague. I will brought you back to the Hague. This is the stuff that went on against all odds. You possibly could not fucking believe this. Montenegro declared its independence from the Serbia. I don't know. This is not any kind of independence from Serbia, but it's unprecedented act, really. It's incredible that even Montenegro decided it would be independent from Serbia. It's it's just a memory on what the fuck went on in Yugoslavia that made certain people actually declare independence from Serbia. There's certain people that did that stuff have failed to accommodate Montenegrin people in, or maybe Montenegrin people fail to understand, miss the opportunity to gain freedom. I think the whole thing is going to turn back to what it was, but that's how life is. That's how it is. I just wanted you to remember this stuff about the salt water, MILOŠEVIĆ and so on. MILOŠEVIќ not like this, even a little bit. It bothered him because it's a border here with Albania not too far from here. Did not like the fact that there is a border not too far from there. But the area that I demonstrated is strictly Serbian. It bothered him. You see, you have a Škader here. But he suggested, unfortunately, it's cleaner here. It's nicer. It's more clean, etc., etc. It's more pure. The beaches are nicer. It's more the nature, that kind of stuff. That really is the way it is with drowning in a salt water. This shit under Milošević. This shit started when I was actually 10 years of age. They would take me. It was a normal procedure. It was just a drowning. It was a drowning procedure. All these people, they vacationed together. Belgrade people, all these people, Serbs. It was just a ritual. It was not even. I wouldn't even consider that as a torture. It was a form of ritual. There was no vacation without what I explained to you about the stuff. You fucking drown you literally 10 times, make you grasp for air with the water entering, you know, exhaust you to the fucking bitter end. Total lunacy. For hours, shit, every time. Those are the Yugoslav vacations. This is how I remember the Yugoslavia. That's your Belgrade, that's your greater Serbian Chetnik state known as Yugoslavia. And you already read about what went on Goli Otok, a horror, the Yugo horror of Josip Broz Tito. Stuff that Josip Broz Tito had with this island where the people were imprisoned and all that stuff. I did report to you about that kind of stuff. Total lunacy, that's Yugoslavia, and that's Slovenia. Slovenes continue to enforce this stuff. Might not even properly explain myself when I stated, for instance, I mentioned you this stuff here about how I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital by Milan Kucan, and the first thing you see is how Milan Kucan transports me to the Adriatic Sea on a so-called vacation so that he can pose next to me. As soon as he transports me back to Novo Mesto, as soon as I get his video of the trip, I am again rushed to the Slovenian side with a Renault Laguna, with a fast car through Ljubljana from Novo Mesto in direction of Koper, where Slovenian coast is, where the Slovenian coastline is, by the police, who do exactly is just in a few hours, you back and forth. This is what they were doing. They would literally take me on a drowning. Novo Mesto police investigators would do exactly what I stated here. And back to Novo Mesto. This is the way it worked. One was for official trip, for the foreigners, for the Auslanders from Britain, from Germany, Italians and others, Americans, and totally separate was a totally separate issue was the one that was off the camera. Yeah, I realized that they had something on the camera and they also had the stuff off the camera. They were showing somebody these videos and stuff about my so-called vacation, and I bet that stuff also was heavily edited. It was a lunacy. This was a technique, a poisoning, literally. They used. Tanya Fayon knew about all this, people knew about all this shit since my childhood, what I stated to you. I had my schoolmates from Novo Mesto Grammar School even involved in this kind of stuff. Gesturing me when I was 8 years old that what will happen is my kidneys will be bad from this kind of stuff and so on, that this is what they will be doing collectively. I vacationed with my schoolmates from Osnovna Šola Grm, from Grammar School Novo Mesto. This was a total lunacy. This was a reckless, total reckless lunacy. I have a good body. My body handled enormously a lot. Enormously a lot. And so, drowning on Adriatic Sea, you have the state border right there that you would not even have one. It's called Montenegro. Real. Proven as real. Factual. As factual as anything can be. Drowning was done throughout Croatia, throughout Italy. Americans claimed that they couldn't get Slovenian side on a camera when it comes to drowning in Miami, in Atlantic Ocean. In other words, that's what Miami is, has access to Atlantic Ocean. But shit went also in America when it comes to drinking salt water. I don't actually have in particular the memories on drinking salty water in the United States of America, like very that I would be yeah, it was all kinds of stuff. It was all kinds of stuff, but I would have to think about. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. I do stuff. I can literally point you out when and what, how, by going through details. But I'm not going to go and say that somebody did or did, you know, or at this point they did not, and so on. I know that British royals were worried about this issue as soon as they learned about it. They demanded, they issued a mandate in totally way too fucking late stages of MK Ultra, beginning sometimes in 2000, and which is weird, it's really weird. Directly I cannot say that British royals were involved in this type of seawater drinking. I cannot say this. They very late, way too fucking late, like in 2013 started to protest to this issue. Why the hell would they wait until 2013? I'm in disbelief that you would not know that somebody like myself, this stuff could be done to, and you would not pay attention to that stuff. They certainly knew since my childhood about what went on. Why were they protesting? Finally in 2013, when I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital, right in front of me, if not to clean their name, I do not know. I cannot tie them directly to a drowning incidents, to a torture on the beach, inside of the seawater. I cannot tie any royals for that matter. I cannot tie not Japanese, not absolutely not Japanese. I cannot tie Thailandese. I cannot tie especially not directly that they would be directly involved in that kind of stuff. I cannot. No royals I can connect to saltwater sea drowning shit. I cannot connect them. But why would they come up with finally in 2013 with this shit? I don't understand. I don't understand. This was a big reason to worry about it way earlier. In fact, the whole thing is bullshit. I was going to say I would never allow somebody like this to swim in a salt water under this kind of circumstances under MK Ultra. This is a fucking death sentence, isn't it? I mean, not necessary, but when you have guys filming you literally under the water with a snorkeling equipment and with a camera in hands and stuff like this, as I remember investigators from Novo Mesto. Everybody was doing everything on a fucking camera, man. This is how they were paying. They claimed during MK Ultra, they claimed, oh, well, they said to me, oh, you know, in front of me, they said, you have to tell what happened because we don't have anything recorded. We don't have the video and we don't have the audio. When you will tell, if you will tell the way it was, then I will say yes, 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 or no, or whatever. Or no, no, no. In order for you to get paid, get your job or a piece of real estate or whatever the hell you are up to, or you committed the crime, my man, Serbs demanded video, not even fucking audio. I was there when you negotiated in my third grade of the grammar school with the Slobodan MILOŠEVIĆ, the guy who was already involved in deep state affairs, deeply in it. For this case, MILOŠEVIĆ, this is how MILOŠEVIĆ became a president of the Serbia. Absolutely everything that MILOŠEVIќ built in his life, both brothers built through being my personal case managers. With Karadzic, with Mladic, etc., etc. But Milošević was like a prime boss of this crime. He had like a possession after the Josip Broz Tito. That's how he became a president of Yugoslavia. Should you know about this case, should this case be interesting to you, what the fuck did you worry about for the last 53 years if the case like this is not important case anyways. You know, about any historical person that you admired, that you wanted to know about what happened, how it happened. I don't know about this case, how this case would not matter. Beginning the third grade of the grammar school, video. It used to be even that police officer were writing down, watching and writing down. Beginning 1978, 1979, everything had to be on the video. Do you understand? No video, no money. So you don't fucking lie to me about how you don't have, etc., etc. Or let's say lies from the garbage, from the trash, from Novo Mesto, the so-called police station. Because you have to do this, you have to tell everything how and what, who did what, because we don't agree with Milan Kuchan, because we don't agree with Pahor and all these politicians, we don't agree with them. Really? I have to do all this shit because, yes, because they broke this, they broke that, because they did this to you and they did, and we know they did this stuff to you, all this stuff they did, and it's not us who did. We, in fact, should be doing a police work, and we are not doing a police work. You are a big problem for us. You are a big problem for us. We want to do a police work, but we don't do a police work because of you. That's right. You have to tell all about this, because we don't want to have nothing to do with the politics. But at the same time, these were fucking politicians. There's a fucking politicians there in this police station. It's not a police officers. Ethnic cleansers that will gather kids here behind the village. Serbian kids, all kinds of kids, to give me a brainwash. Basically to torture me and demand in so-called Slovenia, beginning 2008, for me to acknowledge that torture is just a normal way of life, and the kids from Serbia and also whoever committed themselves to this shit just have the right to do it. This is just the way it is, and so on. All this hate crimes which police enforced, police did all they possibly could to say, hey, you have to tell this so that we can confirm, because we don't want to do this. This is not our job. Many fuck up stories like this you hear when you're subjected to the torture. It's what I refer to as a dementia. And then the only thing you do is Arbeit macht frei. You say to them, fuck you. The sign that they wanted me to take, kako se reče, doslovno in Polish language, word by word, make word by word, this is who you are. You are inside of Auschwitz. That's you. You're Jew. That's what we're gonna do to you. You take it and you say, as a Jew, you say, thank you, praise you, fuck you, I will. You know, even when Gestapo officer like Miran Sodin meets you at the police station, you say, yeah, just keep writing, You do. You simply do, with a smile on the face. And then you say, at the end of the video, you say, thanks for watching this video. And you say, till next time. Psychiatrist cops did not hate it anything more than what I stated. These last two sentences. That's exactly how you do it. And you do it with a smile on the face. It hurts you guys way more than it hurts me. Personally, for me, when it's a job to do, therefore when I talk, not common sense, but such important issues as I report about them, it feels like a holiday. It's a beating. When you guys enter the legal world, when you enter the world of courtrooms, prison system, when you enter that, you guys are going to be so fucking happy about it. You will. Juršić, even that you claimed you will not, nothing will happen and so on. You will. There is no way, there is no comeback out of that one. That's brutal. That's really, really brutal.